The date that this video is posted proves that these predictions are being made ahead of time, as do these time-stamped emails and forensic notes PDF documents. If you are skeptical for some reason, please email me and I will forward these to you. All right. Marshall Mathers' mother, EMINEM. God uses records for signs. EMINEM is known for producing a record 11 albums in a row that reached #1 on the Billboard chart. 9 of the 11 albums were solo albums. On 9/11, Flight 11 with a crew of 11 struck the Twin Towers that looked like a giant 11 in the 11th state. This is because Jesus coined the phrase the 11th hour, which in ancient Israel referred to the last hour of daylight before darkness, and in English is an idiom that means last chance. Time is running out, as in last chance for America to repent and turn back to God. Okay, so God uses records for signs in general, and EMINEM had a record, he produced a record 11 albums in a row that reached #1 on the Billboard chart. 9 of the 11 albums were solo albums, okay, and Flight 11, Crew of 11 on 9/11. The towers that collapsed were 110 stories high. Joshua in the Bible died at the age of 110 after leading the Israelites around the walls of security before they collapsed in God's judgment, as in the collapse of 110 stories on 9/11, in God's judgment. 110 hints at 11. The towers looked like a giant 11. They were 110 stories high. Ultimately, it points to the tower in Genesis 11. So 110 hints at 11. EMINEM is known for writing songs about his relationship with his mother. It's a large part of his music. Marshall Mathers' mother, and he's famous for it. Marshall Mathers' mother, because he's famous for it, her death was a major news story. Marshall Mathers' mother died 110 days before it is predicted that dirty bombs will explode in New York City on March 22nd, 2025. Okay, 9/11 New York City, 110 stories. Marshall Mathers' mother, 110 days before the predicted explosions, the dirty bombs in New York City. But also, Marshall Mathers' mother died 110 days before martial law will be declared in America. That's what's prophetic here. That's the prophetic significance of all of this. Marshall Mathers hints at martial law. And Marshall Mathers is a big deal because that's his real name. He goes by EMINEM, and he's extremely famous for that name, which gives attention to his real name, Marshall Mathers. Okay? Marshall Mathers' mother died 110 days before martial law will be declared in America as a result of the events that's predicted for New York City, where the events of 9/11 happened, where 110 stories collapsed.